Peymon who?
Mottahedeh.
Peymon Mottahedeh. Who is he?
Never paid taxes in 30 years. Fought the U.S. tax court and won.
See, I believe our rights come from God, not from government. Hello to my truth and freedom-seeking friends. I'm Peymon Mottahedeh, the president of Freedom Law School. On this Freedom Hour, I'll be covering the topic of the External Revenue Service, which President Trump has talked about recently. What is that, and how that could really develop to have America be a free country, a great country once again. If you've not been to our website, freedomlawschool.org, you want to go there, and that's where you learn that the average American is not required to file and pay federal income taxes by law, as published on U.S. government's own official legal websites. So with that, let's get on to the External Revenue Service, which Trump talks about, which goes hand in hand with what we have been saying at Freedom Law School for decades, okay? So, again, it's been in the news, came out January 14th, for example. Newsweek reports that Donald Trump wants External Revenue Service, okay? Well, let's go take a closer look at this. And Trump said that for far too long, we have relied on taxing our great people using the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, okay? So what he's saying is that it is time for that to change. Today announcing that I will create the External Revenue Service to collect our tariffs, duties, and all revenue that comes from foreign sources. That's the key. Foreign sources. That's what Trump wrote on Truth Social. So with that, let me tell you, The Perfect Tax by G. Edward Griffin covers this topic in more thoroughly. So go on YouTube, type in The Perfect Tax, okay, by G. Edward Griffin. This video will come up, so I incorporate that here by reference, and it will be on the description below as well for you, okay? Now, here's a U.S. federal revenue breakdown. You see these bars on the left. The big one is individual income taxes for 2023 was over $2 trillion. Payroll taxes, $1.5 trillion. Corporate taxes, the third one, is $400 billion. Other sources, $220 billion, and $80 billion from tariffs. Okay, so the two big gorillas are the individual income taxes and payroll taxes, which you've seen on our website, freedomlawschool.org. I cover for you that based upon U.S. government's official legal websites, they do not apply to people of the 50 states. The only people that have to pay by law income tax are citizens and residents of Washington, D.C., federal workers who work in D.C., and anybody who sells real estate in Washington, D.C. Payroll taxes apply to only certain people who do certain activities in the 4 U.S. island territories of Puerto Rico, Guam, Virgin Islands, and American Samoa. So as unbelievable as it sounds, go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, and you see all that. This is the law, the Internal Revenue Code. We quote the law from their own book, the Bible of the IRS, the tax laws, and the U.S. Supreme Court and the IRS's own website and the U.S. Treasury. So let's get back to this topic a little bit more detail now, okay? See, tariffs was what made America great. Look at this. From 1800 to year 2020, tariffs used to be back then almost the primary source, almost universally of source of income for the U.S. government. But it went down and down, and after 1913, the Federal Reserve Act and 16th Amendment and the income tax started at that time. It went down further, and by World War II, it became very small and it kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Well, guess what? When was America the greatest? Became rapidly growing fast and prosperous in 1800s, when we were still a free country. The more we got into the 20th century, became less free country, and things just started going down, 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 and tariffs went down, and slavery of the average American in the 50 states went up because we were deceived to believe that, we have to pay this federal income taxes when we do not have to pay them. The people of the 50 countries do not have to pay the federal income taxes at all. So we're going to reverse that whole thing, but we've got to understand how to solve this problem, okay? So let's take a closer look at this. You see, we have imports in America. This is the annual summary of 2023, okay? Imports into America were almost $4 trillion, okay? That's a lot of imports, $4 trillion. That could be taxed. If you put a tax on $4 trillion, okay, of 50%, that's $2 trillion. Now, you say, well, Peymon, with the tax, the import's going to go down. That is true. It will go down. Let's say it goes down to half. Okay? We have $1 trillion of income coming in that way. And all those products that used to be produced in China, Korea, Japan, all these other places, in India, will come back to be made in America. Good paying jobs, middle class paying jobs will come back to America. And now with that, not only the people are doing better, but the services they need from their state and city and county, local government that really protects you, provides for the police, sheriffs, courts, and roads, and firemen, all the things you need. The tax revenue for that will go up to provide all those services for we, the American people. Michigan, who was a great state, but all the automobile jobs went out of Michigan over the decades, can be great once again. But there's more beyond tax on imports that Trump can do. Let's go take a look at that a little bit closer here. Okay, but let's talk about federal distribution of budget first. Okay, the biggest part, okay, is national defense, but that's really not accurate because Social Security and Medicare combined, these two communist socialist programs, the green and yellow, along with Medicaid, those are the biggest. These are the communist socialistic programs that the federal government has put on there to make us used to being slaves, to be socialist, communists, that everything's provided by big government. Protect me, I'm old and poor, can't take care of myself. You made me poor with this corrupt system, but the bankers and all these powerful special interests, they get to suck off my wealth to taxes, so I need you now to take care of me with all these little gimme goodies you give me through Medicare and Social Security and Medicaid. That's on purpose done to us. We didn't have those back in the 19th century, and we're just fine. We need to reverse this whole trend. Okay? So let's take a look at that. So you see it all, of course, the same thing you see it in this circle pie chart as well. Okay? A lot of corruption and waste. I mean, we can, folks, easily cut these in half. We'll be have plenty of money left over still. So this is a table of immigrant and non-immigrant visas issued. Okay, now the idea that I've been promoting for some time is tax not just imports, but the people, the tourists, the immigrants, the foreign students that they come to America. Yes, let's tax those people as well. Okay, so take a look at this here. Okay, let's go down a little further. See that total non-immigrant categories. Visas issued to visit America in 2023 was over 10 million people to come to visit America. That's a lot of people. 10 million people. If you charge these 10 million people $1,000 per person per month, how much that becomes? 10 billion just by that. If you charge them per month $1,000 per month, that becomes 30 billion. If you charge them $2,000 for the third month and more, that becomes even more. We can make tens of billions of dollars easily by just taxing people who want to come to America. are the Disneyland of Earth. You would come in this great union of ours and play and have fun and enjoy all the great things that America has to offer. Okay? So now, here you see also the other, we covered this, all immigrants. Now, let's go to the total arrivals of people visiting America, okay, tourists, okay, 6.5 million in 2023. So almost 70 million people, okay, visiting. That's a lot. We can charge people for visiting America. That's right. 66 million, if you charge them $1,000 per person, how much that becomes? 66 billion. You see, these numbers can add up. A little bit here, a little bit there, when you charge foreigners, not Americans, to provide for the federal government. Okay? Let's take a look at this one. Okay, the students. International students in the United States in 2023-24 was over 1,100,000 plus foreign students. Again, can we tax them? Yes, we can. Here, this cost of students in America, foreign students. Here's a website that tells us that for typically the fees for school range from $20,000 to $50,000. Okay, and for undergraduates, for graduate programs, $25,000 to $60,000. Doctoral programs, up to $50,000. Okay, so take an average of these things. Let's say lower an average. Let's say $30,000. Okay, so you have $30,000 that they pay. Okay, over 1 million of them, right? And we impose just let's say 50% tax. That's $15,000 per student times 1 million. That adds up. In other words, Elon Musk wants to bring people to America that are talented to work in the high tech. That's right. We want those rather than people who just do simple work. Okay, but those guys will pay a price. They pay already coyotes, drug dealers, to come to America. $10,000. That's right. From Venezuela, Cuba, China, these countries pay $10,000 typically to a drug dealer to bring him across the Mexican border to America, right? Well, they want to pay a price to come to this great nation. They have to pay not that. They have to pay every year, okay? And income tax also. So if you have immigrants, okay, we have just, only 1 million immigrants per year, but are talented, okay? And those guys now pay heavy tax, like 50%. Now you're talking some serious money there as well. And we, the Americans, we won't have to pay, okay? And we can build this country to be great by doing all that. Let's see what Trump is saying about this for a minute.
American public, and we will pause the hiring of any new IRS agents. We will also require that federal workers must return to the office in person. And we're going to take the 88,000 people that they hired to go after you with guns. By the way, they're allowed to use guns and harass you like they were so many other people. Remember this? Okay, remember? Do you remember a little statement about tips? Does anybody remember that little statement? I think we won Nevada because of that statement. But they went out and harassed you over the tips. In other words, we are restoring control of our government to the people. We're going to take those 88,000. Let's see if they'd like to work on the border, because that's what we want them really.
I like the idea of having those government workers protect our borders, like they should be doing, right? We have a military all over the world protecting other countries like Ukraine and others, and Israel, but our own borders, oh my, we leave it open. Come on, everybody. It's the craziest thing, right? So, let's go on to just give you guys some numbers on this stuff. The imports, as I mentioned, 3.6 trillion times 50% tax, 1.8 trillion. Immigrants and non-immigrants, $1,000 personal tax they pay for coming to America, 11 billion. Okay, Tourists, 66 million visitors, $1,000 per personal tax, 66 billion. I have not even put the numbers for them paying personal income tax. You see, Elon Musk, rather than paying an American $120,000 to get a job, he ought to pay immigrants from India $80,000. Because for him, compared to what he had in India, this is much better. Okay, Elon, you can do that, my friend. No problem. But there's going to be a 50% tax on that employee. It's going to be $120,000 to hire an Indian guy, $120,000 to hire an American. Now we have an even playing level. Now it comes to who has better skills. We do want good foreign talent to come to America, right? America's land of immigrants who came to America to make America a better place. That's what I came here for. That's what your parents and great-grandparents came here for, right? So, but this will solve the problem of immigration being a controlled one. We bring the cream of the crop of the world, the brain of the world. We bring them to America and have America become a better place overall, right? That's the way to do it. And let's remember this also, by the way. We can cut the federal budget by half and we'll be just fine. Here's a USN report reveals only 6% of federal workers show up in person on a full-time basis. How do you like that? And if you count out the security guard and maintenance people that have to be there, you got maybe only 1% of them working. So we can cut the federal government by easily, okay, by 50%. We got way too many people still moving at slow pace, working out of their home. We covered this issue in our previous videos before. Here's a federal worker working out of her home, okay, messing around. They're not really working. And they get paid good money. They got all holidays off paid. Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year, 4th of July, Martin Luther King Day, Juneteenth Day, every little holiday excuse, they get paid. You don't. You have to work. They get paid. They get a pension, health care, everything paid for them, and they're not even working for it, right? Let's cut that budget seriously. Go back to imports, taxing foreigners, and we'll be just fine in America. In fact, we'll be far better. America will be great again like it used to be, and a free country at the same time. Okay? Now, you got to go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, and make sure you follow the law step 1, and again, understand for yourself that based on the official legal websites of the U.S. government, no law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay income taxes. Yep, it is true in this 9-minute video right here. You can see it for yourself, and there's more videos to support this in more detail for you. Then you gotta recognize and know that you gotta stop filing income tax forms, because when you do, you put a rope around your neck. You sign a 1040 form. You don't want to do that. Stop telling the IRS that you owe them money. Start telling them you confess that you owe them money for them to audit you, to steal your money, bank account, crypto, your property, and put you in prison, okay? Then, step 3 you got to recognize is that IRS is really operating on bluff and deception, okay? They're the big Wizard of Oz that tells you, oh, file your tax returns and pay your taxes. Otherwise you'll be in trouble. It's all a big lie and a hoax. IRS is still running on 1960s computer technology, assembly language, COBOL, okay? And they're leaving non-filers alone. Go inside step 3, see all the proof for yourself. And know this is not just talk. I've done it, brothers and sisters. Take courage from our victories. Yes. This little lizard that the major media makes a monster out of it, it's just a little lizard with no fire power. I haven't filed an income tax for over 30 years, openly, and teaching others to do the same. I'm not a tax person. IRS, guess what? They've had me for over 30 years on the criminal investigation and other investigations continually. Here I'm free, So if this belief that, if you don't file an income tax return, you go to prison, if it was true, well, why am I still walking around? IRS knows me very well. That's proof for you right there. They know there's no law requiring you, the people of the 50 states, to file and pay federal income taxes, but through deception, they suckered you to pay taxes you never legally owed. You can just stop if you go to freedomlawschool.org and see it for yourself. And better yet, none of our students, people, have ever gone to prison for federal taxes, nor had their paycheck or bank account levied or home or business seized by the IRS. As long as they started Freedom Law School, stop filing with us. Not on their own, but with us correctly. And people, you don't have to pay tribute to the beast. It's really slavery. It's really Satan, IRS. Okay? Write your lawmakers. Question them. Hey, I'll pay the income taxes. Here's my petition. The law is quoted verbatim in the petitions. If I'm wrong, show me. I'll pay my fair share of taxes. They can never do that. They've never done that. We've done this thousands and thousands of times. Okay? And with that, you'll be free. It's available for free for every one of you. These petitions on our website at freedomlawschool.org. You are a dude, and you will not go to prison because you have the law documented in your favor when it's sent to your congressman by certified mail. So that does it. Every one of you can be free if you want to, and ours is leaving people who don't file income taxes alone. That is right. You gotta check it out. Okay, at freedomlawschool.org. Now, for some of you who care about freedom big time, like me, want to have America be a free country again, want your children and your grandchildren to live free, and you have the courage and dedication of America's founding fathers, and you want to guarantee it at the same time. Now, for those of you, you can go to the optional step 6 and join our Restore Freedom plan. And with this plan, we give you the complete 100% guarantee. And we thank you for supporting to America Great Again once again. It's up to you if you want to take this choice. But whether you do it or not, we want you to go to step 7 and tell other people about these truths about income tax deception. Educate your fellow Americans with the law, with the truth. Empower them to have America and our families be great and free once again. Folks, just love and spread the truth, and text your friends, email them, social media about Freedom Law School. Let them know what's going on. Get us on different programs, okay? Get on different broadcasters, big ones out there, to get the word out there. Put us in touch with Trump and his people and his administration. They don't know us. It's your job also to put us in touch with more people and people with influence, out there. And we're going to get together with Trump and get rid of the Internal Revenue Service. America be tax based on foreigners, okay? And it become once again the most prosperous and free nation on earth. And you get to have freedom and the choices in your life that you deserve at that time much more completely. So with that, I'll give you all my love. I'll give you all the tools, the information to live free, but I cannot do it. Remember, you get in your car, on your smartphone, put on our website, and you drive around, watch the road, listen to our videos. You're at work, or at home at dinner, put your smartphone or computer up, watch the video this time, and verify everything that Freedom Law School says from the U.S. government's official legal websites. And that will set you free. Thank you for being with me. Hope to meet you all in person someday very soon.